Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We have two topics today. First, we are going to tackle used and just maybe buying another phone. There's a thought, because I do want to say something about new here as well. So we will get to that, and we'll have talk about that, and then we will talk about Fedora. The next Fedora release is out, Fedora 31. We're going to have a quick look at it and how you can test it out, depending, irregardless of what your operating system happens to be. So we are going to start with buying the new cell phones. Whoa, I never attached my comments to the right place. Give me just a second. Let me fix my comment feed up, and then we got always something I forget. Always something. There we are. Greetings, Mr. Rich Bob. How's it going there? Hello, Neo29, and Lucas. How's it going there? Yeah, when did you try Fedora last, Lucas? It has really come along in the last couple of releases. But yeah, if you've tried it a while ago, it was a miserable mess. That's actually why I've never really recommended it, but it has come so far, especially if you're on the official Gnome release. Ricky just released a new Ubuntu 19.10 review, and the link is somewhere in my comment thread, so go watch that video. Support Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88. Hello, Ashton Snap. How's it going there? Werner Clayson, how's it going there? With the worst news of the day, really? I'm going to have to look up this start page news. Alexander, greetings, DJ Ware. Hello to you. Tech, how's it going there? And let's see. Alexander buys phones in shop stalls. Okay, let me have a quick look at this start page news. Do you have a link for that, by the way? Oh, sold to an ad tech company. There it is. I think I found a link on Reddit. Give me a second here. Let me look at that, make sure that's all right. Let's see. So that Reddit post linked to another one. Start page is now partly owned by System 1. Has developed pre-targeting platform that identifies and unlocks consumer intent across channels, including social, native email, search, market, lead generation. And there is a press release. So this is brand new stuff to me. So before we get into the show, let's have a quick look. System 1 raises $270 million for consumer intent advertising. That's exciting. Silicon Beach ad tech firm System 1 has closed $270 million in financing, founded in 2013. Venice, California-based company, formerly known as OpenMail, is an independent marketplace for keyword pay-per-click advertising. System 1 has developed a pre-targeting platform that identifies and unlocks consumer intent across channels, including social, native, email, search, market, lead generation, rather than relying solely on what consumers enter into search boxes. Well, that sounds creepy. Company describes as a strong momentum as System 1 launches several new product lines, open new offices. Company employs 190 people in 6 locations, including Bellevue, Washington, and Atlanta. The company also successfully integrated its acquisition of InfoSpace, a provider of white label search and monetization solution systems. System 1 bought for $45 million. Comprised of an inspiring group of talented, dedicated individuals, excited for the entire team. Added the co-founder. We also want to thank the Rain Group, our early investors who are instrumental. And start page. A more private experience with Privacy One Group. Start page if you lost your everything mind. Let's see. We believe a more private internet is better. Guys, you don't become a more private internet by... You don't become a more private internet by selling to an ad company. But let's have a look. I want to dig into this a little bit more, and maybe I'll do a more dedicated video on it later. But it says, we believe more private internet is better, that you deserve the option to search the internet while keeping your personal data private. To help bring true privacy to people, Privacy One Group Ltd. has invested in StartPage, the world's first and most private search engine. Privacy One Group and StartPage's relationship started in January 2019 And after transitional planning and alignment, the teams are excited to announce their joint mission to deliver more privacy options to the world. Startpage will continue to be headquartered and operated in the Netherlands, ensuring all of our users worldwide are protected by Dutch and EU privacy laws. Both Startpage and Privacy One Group are passion-driven in the mission of providing quality, unbiased search results while respecting online privacy and never storing consumer data. Startpage stands apart from the broader search engine community through its privacy-focused mission of not storing any personal data, no IP addresses, no personal user data, no search history, no tracking cookies. In short, nothing related to you or your web searches is stored by Startpage. While other search engines stop protecting you once you click to another website, Startpage's proprietary anonymous view feature enables you to continue to browse in private by viewing websites linked from their page. Let's see if there's anything else in here about One. Okay, Privacy One Group is a separate operating unit of System One focused entirely on user privacy. We talk about the same company because you don't create a giant ad group at the one hand and maintain privacy. I don't know. Win-win for internet users in the truest sense by offering personal privacy combined with the best search results on the web with additional resources from Privacy One Group. Startpage plans to build a more comprehensive product offering and improved user experience. We're excited by the opportunity to continue to champion it. Okay, I'm going to want to look into this a little bit more before I have a solid statement one way or the other. But yeah, this definitely is an ad tech firm that is now working with Startpage. So the question is, what are they doing and integrating together? I don't know. That's a thought. Definitely something to look into. Very, shall we say, uncool. Hello, UK Beast. Greetings. Hello, Penguin Revolution. How are you? Page to go. Whoa. GiftGaff sells both new and refurb phones. All right. Good evening. Let's see. Sleepy. First thing I do with a refurb smartphone is replace the battery. I did look at the batteries for my model phone in case it goes down. Man, they start at like $6. I don't know if I can afford that. Of course, I have to get the battery out without blowing the phone up. No, I mean, it's, you know. Use topic for me since I think I bricked my toy Android phone around. Yeah, refurb fiend means outdated Android updates. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the reality is, if you're smart, it's like your computer. If you're smart with your computer, you can get away with, running out-of-date software for a little bit. I mean, in all honesty, the only thing that's going to get you without you doing something stupid is a worm. And even a worm can get Windows 10, Hello, GNU Reaper. Greetings to you. Thomas Holt, hello. I am doing well, and the kitty is definitely, he's chilling over there. He's just like, yeah, man, I'm chilling on my mat. Leave me alone. KO2610, your number has been called. Greetings. Well, tech is garbage for Linux drivers. Yes, that is true. You have morning and you're dumb in the morning. All right. Drink more coffee. That'll help. Amazon do a refurb store for phones. Yes, they actually do. Security and privacy wise, I wouldn't buy a used phone. I wouldn't have a problem with it, honestly. Accidentally press mute. Uh-oh. Don't accidentally press mute. Hello, Dennis. Greetings to you. Buzzwords overlord. Which buzzwords? I'm guessing you're talking about the Start One stuff. Yeah. If I'd buy a secondhand phone, it would be a dumb phone. There you go. Yeah, I mean, would it be possible? I mean, it would be possible for somebody to do something on a phone. It would be so highly unlikely that I would. I mean, unless I were a super high profile target, I wouldn't necessarily be bothered by that. I don't know. Yeah, I'll look into this a little bit more. Hello, Bob Devereaux. Greetings to you. Lieutenant Scryo, hello to you. Quant thoughts. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into things. Pay a subscription fee for a completely private search engine. I don't know. I'd rather just feed it white noise. GitLab put in a new clause with some AI privacy invasion algorithms and then sent a new email today saying they're rolling it back. Apparently, GitHub user base was unamused with that change. Well, GitLab. Okay, I was thinking GitHub. Because GitHub would be like Microsoft. What? $6, take out a personal loan, maybe even a kidney. I was thinking about selling off one of my kidneys here the other day, you know. Ads are a waste of time, save for retail. Most of them are like reading over an enterprise website, yeah. Red Phoenix, greetings. Major downside is that the quality of the screen might not be the same level as OEM. That is possibly true as well. Interesting to see how NordVPN is handling, as it is not very good, as they seem to want to try to brush it off. I'm monitoring the situation with Nord. I think the biggest challenge they had is that it took them so long to talk about what was going on. Definitely it took longer than it should have, that's for sure. But I used Android, install Lineage OS. There you go. Dumb phone with kill switches. There you go. Yeah. Every enterprise style site, the company says, we make life easier with our solutions. Never explain the solutions. That's right. Please explain to me how this happens. Chinese citizens are spamming Notepad++ bug reports. Wow, that's exciting. Hello, Black White Cat. How's it going there? Does that make you a gray cat? New STL video on the search engine alternatives on the horizon. Yeah. I will definitely look into this start page snafu and see what I think. Well, should we dive on into the topic one? Nord always set off your spidey senses. All right. Where's my main title screen and my web browser view? I need both of those. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today's topic, we are going to talk about buying a used cell phone. I kind of want to modify this a little bit. I want to say, like, let's just buy a new cell phone. Or just buy a cell phone. Buy another cell phone. How's that? I was walking through Best Buy the other day, and actually it turns out, like, Best Buy's done some interesting things lately. My local Best Buy, we can actually now buy Raspberry Pis. They stock them. Weird. They stock everything needed for building a new computer, except I didn't see computer cases stocking them. I can go into my local Best Buy and buy off the shelf right now a Ryzen 7 processor. And their prices are just as competitive. That's totally awesome. So maybe they're finally understanding. But as I was walking through, it also turns out that Best Buy has a massive selection of completely unlocked phones. And since they will price match on Amazon with new stuff, chances are, if you wanted to get a new phone, picking it up at a store like Best Buy, if you have one, is probably a very good option. You never want to buy your phone directly from your carrier. The biggest problem is they stay locked to that carrier. If your carrier goes crazy in the next 6 weeks, you might be stuck with that carrier. And so I think since 2013 or 14, somewhere around there, every phone that I've purchased has been a phone that I've bought unlocked. Oftentimes I buy them used, and I have had extremely good luck with used phones. There have been 2 issues where I had a phone where there were issues, and so I want to talk about what you can do about these issues. Now, were these major problems or not? One of them, major problem. One of those, not so major problem, but we're going to talk about that one today because it's related to this new Nexus that I got here. And because, of course, we had the fun phone snafu where my digitizer went out and I ordered another phone and that phone came kind of damaged. And so I was like, you know what? It's just a screen and digitizer. That's $20. So I picked that up. It actually shipped to me in 2 days, and I restored my perfectly fine phone with a brand new digitizer and screen and all that other fun stuff. So my phone is basically like brand new again. And I didn't have to change operating systems or anything else. I just simply fixed the thing. And that kit gave me everything you would need. I found that the tool, like the screwdriver and stuff, was really crappy. So I actually have a good professional screwdriver kit for small devices like this. So, you know, I did all that. But then what is the fate of the other phone? Because the problem with this phone, like when I pulled it out of the box, the battery was completely dead. And that kind of gave me a little bit of a concern. And so I did charge the battery up, and it is telling me, I've charged it up here 5 hours ago. It's telling me it has 15 hours of battery life left, but it's still at 91%. So I suspect that's going to be a little bit better. So I don't think the battery is going to have any issues. I notice the LED does not turn on. Okay, I don't really care about that. But the biggest thing is this phone, which buying them through Amazon are supposed to, according to their policy, quote, look new. And there is, you won't be able to see it on the screen, but there is a entire half-inch huge scratch on the front of the screen, which is right here. So it's right on part, and you can actually feel it with your finger. There is another less significant one down here, but it's ugly, but it's not whatever. And so I looked around and said, well, maybe I'll just send the phone back because according to Amazon's policy, I can actually get a full refund. So I skipped a couple of the steps in purchasing this phone. And if you have a problem, at least buying on Amazon, Amazon will make it right because their customer service is second to none. So with that, I want to talk about 4 steps to do, and I'll tell you which one I goofed up on. I had a little phone searching gaffe, and that was my fault. So we'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about my final thoughts. So the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out what phone you want to run and look around on multiple websites for it. What you're looking for is you want to get the general feel and the general consensus of the price. If the price is super high, that's kind of a red flag. But if the price is super low, that's also a red flag. You want to look around at the range. So this one is a Nexus phone. I think this one's 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, it says 16 gigs of RAM, black phone, and it has... this cost me $100 with shipping. It was like $86 and $8 for shipping. So it ended up costing about $100. Now, I found that I can probably find even a 64 quite a bit cheaper into the 60 to 80 range, but 100 is about the average. So I think overall the pricing is okay, but you want to look at multiple sites so that you can get a general feel. What price should you be paying to make sure you're not out of the scope? So the different places. Now I wish Quint were on because he buys phones from a different place. I couldn't remember where it was. So there is a good phone swapping place. Amazon itself is really good. And one of the things I like about Amazon is their return policy, because right after I bought this phone, Amazon sent me this message, and I'd like to read it to you. So I'm going to look this way so I can read it off my computer screen here. It says, "Congratulations on your recent purchase of a renewed product. To ensure your peace of mind, your renewed product comes with the Amazon Renewed Guarantee, giving you a replacement or refund within 90 days of receipt if the product does not work as expected. The same standard return policy as on all other purchases on Amazon. If the product does not look like new, quick support for claims and free troubleshooting via Amazon. What is covered? The Amazon Renewed Guarantee covers hardware problems that were not caused by the owner, such as defective parts. Theft, accidental damage, and problems associated with software or data loss are not covered under the guarantee." So in theory, you can go into Amazon and have them basically force a refund. I have executed that clause in the past. I picked up a Samsung Galaxy S5 at one point in time. There were some select models of that phone where the OLEM, I think, display kind of, if it got, like if you set it high, no problems. If you set the display low, which I always do to conserve battery power, the screen would flicker on some of those Galaxy phones. And I had one of those phones. I contacted the seller. I didn't hear anything in 48 hours. So I got back through Amazon. Amazon sent me the thing, refunded the money instantly, and it was all back, and they were forced to accept the phone back. That is how good Amazon's return policy is. eBay, I don't know what their policy is. The other place I have actually bought phones from, and I'm not sure if you still can or not, but GameStop. Now, the way it works with GameStop, most stores, unless you're in a big city, do not actually stock phones anymore. So you get them on the website. And then what you do is you can go to the store, and then you have to talk to somebody who actually has a functioning brain, because they do not all realize you can do this. But at GameStop, you can buy from the website and ship it to the store location. That's what I always do. I pay for it at the time of order. They ship it to the store. I go and pick it up so I can test the phone before I leave the store. So if there's any issues with it, they see that I haven't left the store. I haven't broken it. That wasn't the issue. And so we can issue a return on it right then and there. So GameStop, I have always had a good luck with. Of course, one other person here says, hey, friends and family. Which is a good option as well. Poke around your friends and family groups. They're like, hey, I'm a cheapskate. I like buying used phones. If anybody's looking to buy a new phone sometime in the near future, I'd like to talk about maybe buying your old phone off of you. You can pick yourself up a good phone and do that. So there's other places you can go through. There's a lot of things. I like the Amazon guarantees and warranties. And overall, Amazon has very good customer service. So I'm okay with generally buying phones from Amazon. GameStop, like I said, is good. I've bought parts from eBay, although I usually buy computer parts from eBay. By the way, my keyboard came in for the Dell computer, so I'll be repairing the Dell computer tonight, hopefully. And so eBay is also a good place. Craigslist, I bought some phones off of Craigslist before, so don't forget about Craigslist. So just look around the different places and figure out what you're going to do. Now, number 2, double check that particular phone works on your carrier. Not all phones will work on all carriers, and you want to look into that. Now, there's times where this company that I bought the phone from here, they apparently, according to some of the reviews that I'm seeing here, they said the phone would ship with one or work with one particular carrier and ended up not working with that carrier. So be aware of check with your carrier. Of course, your carrier are probably people who do not actually know the answers to the questions. So take that with a grain of salt. If you can get a copy of the IME number, so Craigslist particularly, check that IME number. Make sure you can plug that directly into your carrier's website somewhere. They will tell you if that particular phone is compatible. There are phones that a version will work on certain carriers and a version will work on certain other carriers. You want to make sure you're getting the right phone for the carrier you have. All right. So the next thing you want to do, and this is the one I almost always do it, but it was the very end of a very, very long day when I was ordering parts of the phone and I skipped this step. People, do your homework with the seller. This is why we had a problem. This is the seller I bought from. Breed, B-R-E-E-D. Do not buy anything from them. As of the last 30 days, they only have a 73% positive rating, 23% negative out of 279 reviews. If my brain were functioning when I was placing this order, I would have paid more to go with a company with a higher rating. Always check the ratings of the people you are buying from. Now, we'll come back to this page in a bit. Oh, by the way, here's their page on eBay. And if I go to their seller rating, it gives me this error. I don't know if this is because I don't have an eBay account. Maybe I need to be logged in to see this. I don't know. But I can't see how their ratings look on eBay. So that's a little bit on the frightening side. That's the mistake I made. I should not have gone with a seller with such a low review. So make certain if you're buying it a place where there's multiple sellers involved, like Amazon, make certain you're checking those reviews. GameStop, it's all directly refurbished from their company, so it should be okay. eBay, Amazon, other places, you don't know. Check those reviews. I goofed that up. Whoopsies. And then number 4, before you buy, find out about return policies. As far as return policies, I believe Amazon is probably the best. So can I take this scratched up phone and send it back because it clearly has damage that was not disclosed? Absolutely. So I can go back through, utilize the return policy, and just simply go ahead and execute on that return policy and look at that. Now, this is where the reviews come into play. Because if I go back to this page, look at these two comments here, which were literally just made a couple of days ago. I'm recording this video on the 30th. These were made the 27th and 26th. Worst seller, never deal with them anymore. Almost 4 weeks. They can deliver or refund the money. So completely unresponsive. This guy, they shipped a defective item. They took forever and they still have not received the refund. So where I sit right now is I have a phone that technically by the Amazon policy, I could get money back. I could go directly through Amazon. Like if I were to go through them and ship this phone back to them, and if they do not send me my money within 48 hours of them receiving it back, I could pull the execution through Amazon and Amazon will force them to take it because of their guaranteed policies. I looked at everything here, though, and I said, you know what? I'm going to keep the scratched phone. And the reason I'm going to keep the scratched phone is this. There's a few factors here. Factor number one is my current carrier, which is Verizon, which, by the way, I may not be sticking with them much longer, but my current carrier, which is Verizon, they are dropping all the 3G phones soon. In other words, all of the phones that I have as backup phones on if my phone were to break, they will not work on the network after December. I will not be able to put them back up on the network. So I want to get a second phone just to have a spare phone laying around. Purpose number two is it would be neat to experiment with some of the other ROMs that are available and poke around with it. Purpose three, as I said, I'm going to look at dropping Verizon. It would be very fun to take this little phone that is now unlocked and test it on all of these different services that are prepaid, pay-as-you-go type services and see if I can get a similar service as I can with Verizon. And so now having this secondary phone that if I drop it, I don't really care, whatever else, then I can go ahead then and activate the phone, test it out, and test both phones in the same. Now, the fact that it's the same model as the one I have is what I like because that way it rules out some difference in the phone if the service quality is the same or better or worse, it'll rule that out. So that way it's kind of the same thing. And then number four, based on these reviews, if I send this thing back to them and for some reason they get all crazy, be like, well, no, you, blah, 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 and we're not offering the refund and blah, blah, blah. I could do that. I could fight with Amazon. I would probably win. But the fact of the matter is I still want to go ahead and pick up a second phone anyway. I'm just going to take this guy out. I'm going to write it off on my business. And we're going to do some videos on it. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep the scratch up phone. That way I will be able to tell you, do these other carriers work well? Are they going to work with this type of phone? Are there better ROMs than Lineage? All these fun things I can do with this phone that, yeah, I could send this back, get the money back, and then turn around and take another risk with another company, buy another phone. Why bother? I have the phone. It's here. And if this little scratch bothers me, hey, it's just going to cost me another $15, $20 to get another screen in to replace it. So never mind. So I'm not going to fight for the refund. I'm going to let them keep the money. I mean, the sad reality is they might get this back, refund my money, and then sell it off to somebody else who gets equally mad. Why bother? So that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I decided to do. Those are my thoughts, and hopefully those 4 tips will help you when you are buying another phone. I like to use. I've had very few cases like this. The phone otherwise does seem to work just fine. You know, it's on. It still has Google on it. Ew. Yeah, it still has Google. Look at that Google. Because I haven't bothered to wipe it yet, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. I wanted to charge it up and make sure everything else worked and go from there. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, and do tell me what ROMs I should check out on that phone. That'd be fun. All right, if you just jumped on, we are going to be doing Fedora next. So let me read through our comments, get caught up, and then we're going to jump on into Fedora 31. Yay! All right. There's an enterprise site called the Waterworks and read over everything and learn nothing. Come to find out they're like medical research niche. Yeah. You know, I've done a lot of corporate websites in my day, and like some of these websites I look at them and I go, it's English words. I have no idea what they're saying. And I'm a pretty educated guy, even when it comes to business. Best Buy only has 2 gig Raspberry Pi 4s. I believe that's what I saw. I believe I saw 2 giggers, which is probably okay for the purposes I need them for. But yeah, maybe if I want to get bigger ones, I could order them in. But electronics for a hobby. I miss being able to get CMOS chips and odds and ends. Yeah. This cacti, Pilus, Pili. Luminous, Alumni, yeah. Nexus, Nexi? Yeah, I guess I do have 2 Nexi phones now, don't I? That is a Nexus 5X. It would be the H9, it's either H970 or H971. I forget which one it is. Let's see if it says on the bottom. Oh, 790, excuse me. It is the H790. Pushing towards BlackBerry for my next device for better security. There you go. Curry's PC World and the lack PC parts. Yeah, we have a PC. We have a computer store in town. They stock almost nothing. Like you can get the odds and ends cables, maybe a hard. No, I don't even think they have hard drives, to be honest. The odds and ends that they have. But I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a couple parts. Yeah, it'd be like full retail plus 15%. Full retail plus 15%. I'm like, what's the 15% for? Well, that's the install fee. I'm installing myself. Doesn't matter. Are you lost your ever-loving mind? I'm never going to your store again. I'm sorry. If you're not installing my part, why are you charging me a 15% fee? Here's my favorite finger, guys. You know, wait, there you go. There's my favorite finger. What do you think of my favorite finger? And I'll be buying it on Amazon. Thank you for losing my business. I'm trying to support the local stores, people. Would you grow a brain? For the love. Come on. I want to buy computer parts. Full retail plus 15%. Dude, I can get it like 10% cheaper than retail online. And frankly, it'll come to me faster than if I order it from you. All right. Still better than custom ROMs since they'll give you more privacy. Yeah. Ubuntu Touch. And I could do Ubuntu Touch. It will take it, I believe. I think they actually, they just released a new version of Ubuntu Touch, I think, right? Is it production enough, though? The reason, like, I originally got the Nexus 5X because it could take, like, the Plasma Mobile and stuff, but they're not production. I want something in production. I don't want something that's a tinker toy to see how their status is coming along. I need something that can actually work. I don't know. I'm going to go for Ubuntu Touch. Someone doesn't really care about games, stores, yeah. Amazon has been selling expired food. That's right. Yep. And then they don't want to take it back, I heard, yeah. Doubt GameStop will be around within the next 5 years. I don't know. If they keep on stocking real stuff, abs and price matching Amazon, I think they'll be just fine. JOS and other types of custom ROM is still Android, still tracks you. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Yeah, if you drop the Play Store onto Lineage, why? What's the point? I see no point in putting the Google ROMs back on. If you put Lineage on there and then put the Google apps back on, what's the purpose? Why? Why? Just stop. Why? Use Linux without VPN and click every single website and install every scary website and it's still scary. Yeah, you know. That's right. Servers enterprise support. Ubuntu server contracts are extremely rare. Their business model doesn't make sense. Oh, really? Lineage lets you extend your phone's lifespan mainly, not meant to be a privacy ROM. You need to go to Graphene OS or buy a Pine phone. I've not seen Graphene. I wonder if Copperhead is Copperhead still? I think they were out for a while, but I think Copperhead's actually back now. Let me see. Because I liked Copperhead OS better. It's just it didn't work with some of the things I was working on. Let's see. Oh, wow. Supporting Pixel 3 and 3A soon. Wow, that's neat. Let's see. Apparently their site really kind of sucks these days. So we can go updates, source. Copperhead, you need to fix your website. Releases. Well, you used to be able to download Copperhead and put it on your phone. Yeah, those guys always rub me the wrong way. All right. Trying an Ubuntu phone someday. Well, you can't get an official Ubuntu phone anymore. At least not here in the United States, where with carrier support. But Shuttleworth simply supports Canonical with his personal fortune. Made a fortune selling at the peak of the .com bubble. Probably wants to do it again. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not jumping into the pure Linux phones right now. I don't really care that much. eBay is favorite place to buy phones and get a good deal. Use smartphones, but knowing the intricacies of bidding in the market, a certain model is key. Yeah, I mean you can do eBay with buy now stuff. That's how almost all the computer parts. I usually buy my computer parts on eBay. I buy phone parts on Amazon usually. Here, just unplug from the network, unplug from the wall, pull the server into a Faraday cage, and line the walls with 5 feet of lead. There you go. Yeah. Small slice of the total server supports still a large amount of money. Yeah, pretty much. Breed eBay reviews. Last 30 days, 142 positive, 14. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. What is that? That's about what? About 9% negative, it looks like. Ubuntu is probably going to be the next Enron with misleading financial data. Uh-oh. Phone's almost 6 years old, still working perfectly fine. Should I buy a new one? Just say I got a new phone? Yeah, no. I mean, if it looks like it's getting old, start hunting for a deal. That's the thing is if you can get if you realize you're going to need a new phone soon, you can hunt for a deal. I was actually hunting for this phone for a while. Finally found somebody selling it on Craigslist for $200. That was 3 years ago. That was a steal back then. Want privacy on a phone? It's not going to happen. Simply impossible. Phone's meant to talk all the time. Yeah, but there's things you could do. Uh-oh. Lost my place. Where am I? All right. Second phone. Test custom ROMs. For tech, I worked in finance. Enron drama was much too fun to follow. Yeah. Craigslist and Swap. I think Swap is the one that Quint uses. I think that might be the case. Want the 4 gig Raspberry Pi? Yeah, it depends what you're doing with it, I guess. It'd be cool to have another Raspberry Pi here so I can just keep the one on my TV and use the other one up here for the things I need it for up in the office. All right, let's go ahead. Since I have a lot of comments left, we're going to go ahead and pause the comments there. We're going to get into the Fedora video next. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoa, that will require me to change the banner, though, won't it? People are like, what's up with this? Talking about Fedora and this banner? What's up with this banner? Dude, where'd my banner go? There it is. Found it. Don't drop it on YouTube. Drop it here. Yes, replace. Thank you. There we are. Now we're about ready to go, I think. Let me pull this back up. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, Fedora 31 has been released, and we're just going to have a quick look under the hood. Honestly, as far as releases of current Linux distributions, Fedora 31 brings with it Gnome 3.34. Just some general rolling updates. Nothing else super significant, at least on the basic workstation. There is this toolbox that is in the Silverlight, which I still have not had a chance to look into, and I am going to look into that eventually. But I did want to just talk briefly about Fedora. So this is one that I've never generally had on my recommendations list, just because it's in the past, Fedora was extremely hard to get working right. And you'd install it, and then you'd find the lists of 25 things you need to do once Fedora is installed to get things up and running, and it was a royal pain and things like that. And when that was the case, yeah, we had problems. In fact, I had a friend long time back that he would run Fedora on stuff. His dad was actually a Red Hat certified Linux system administrator. He still could never get Fedora working just right on his computer. And so for me, it's like, I don't install Linux to figure out how to get things to work. I use Linux to actually get my work done. So I need working computers. But within a couple of releases back, Fedora started to become amazingly good. That it probably will end up on my next list of distros for new users. Because if you are using particularly the Gnome version, it absolutely out of the box is a wonderful experience. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at their website first. So over here, of course, Fedora 31 is released. You can see that. I believe this is taking us to the release notes. So their website is at getfedora.org. Here is the original release notes. So of course, Toolbox. Why not give it a try? Just type in Toolbox, enter from the command line. And I tried that. It doesn't work on the workstation. I think this is something related to Silverlight. And then they have a variety of different flavors. I did find in the past that the flavors did not quite have the good support that the main GNOME-based Fedora has as far as easily adding GPM Fusion and the other things. Did I say that right? I think I said that right. Whatever. Adding all the repos that you need for music, codecs, things like that, or things that people want. Really easy to install on the new GNOME format. I did run KDE Plasma Fedora, and that did not work quite as well, but it was still okay. They have alternative architecture ones for ARM, Arch64, Power, S390X. They did bring, let's see, they do not have the 32-bit architecture anymore. Overall general improvements, again, just some basic updates to packages. There's some Docker things. Didn't see the note here about GNOME, but it's in here. So there it is. GNOME is 3.34, so really nothing super duper exciting. But at the same time, it's incrementally better. So suppose that you are thinking about switching to Linux and you might want to try out Fedora. Maybe you've heard some good things about it. Just head on over to the main website, and then we have the server for if you're just running a server, or if you're running a desktop computer like I'm recording this on, we want to use the workstation. So hit your download now. Now, if you are on Windows or Mac, you're going to want to get the Fedora Media Writer, which, in full disclosure, I have not used this. If I'm doing this, I just use my, Linux Mint also has a media writer. So I just use the one that's built into my main operating system. But if you're on Windows, this guy here is a .exe file. If you're on Mac, this guy here is a DMG file. So just go ahead and grab this, and this is going to walk you through the steps to download the ISO image that you have over here and put that onto a spare USB drive. Then you're going to want to plug that USB drive into your computer and boot off of the drive. Now, if you are using a new Mac, you will need to go into your startup options and allow the ability to boot off of a USB drive. And I forget the commands to do that. It's like, holding down like a few keys and turning it on, and I forget what it is because I don't run Macs a lot. On Windows, you will probably, if you have a newer computer, you are going to need to go into your BIOS. You will probably need to disable Secure Boot. it will yell at you about that, but just say don't worry about it. And the other thing you're going to have to do is make sure that you can enable booting from a USB. Sometimes that is enabled by default, sometimes it is not. But on a Windows computer, it always tends to boot off of that first hard drive first. So you're either going to want to load your boot menu or set your BIOS to start up by checking for a USB drive before booting the primary hard disk. That will boot you into the operating system. Now, once you get into this file is going to get you into the live workstation where you can then install Fedora. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump on over to the actual installation. Now, I have installed this, but I have not actually run it yet. And so with that, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what happens when we just install it. Just off the top, actually, I need to give me just a second because I did not kick the drive out of my virtual machine. Okay, let me do that. I was trying to do that so flawlessly too. Oh well. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to jump on over. So I've booted the virtual machine up into a live key. I have installed Fedora, but I have not even booted it into the system yet. So Fedora installs kind of as an OEM install now, which means that you don't set up any of your usernames or anything right when you are setting up the installation. You do that the first time the system runs so that you can deploy it across a series of workstations, and then each person, when they get their new computer, can boot up their system and jump on into it. So here we are on the main desktop. I always love their wallpapers. This one's a little bit light. Of course, we have our taskbar up here at the top, and we are just waiting for the first run load screens. So here it tells us welcome, and it should tell us this in multiple languages in case you can't read that. So now I can't read it. So push our next button. And then this is the ability to set location services. So do you want to applications that are programmed with geolocation services to be able to identify that based on your IP address? I do not like that, so I'm going to say no. And then automatic problem reporting. Do you want reports to automatically send information back? So this will send out reports allegedly anonymously scrubbed to personal data. I do not know all of the details about how that would work, so I'm going to turn that off. So here I can connect any online account. So if I'm using Google or Nextcloud or Microsoft or Facebook, you can go ahead and add these accounts right here. So clicking in Nextcloud, just type in your server, your username, your password, and Gnome is going to give us integration with contacts, calendars, and folder options as well, integration. I think Google will do a similar thing, and I'm not sure what the Microsoft account gets us or the Facebook account for that matter. We're going to go ahead and skip. Now you want to give us the full name. So our username, no, that's fine. STL is our username. We have an enterprise login. This is if you have an enterprise login to the system, you can use that. Otherwise, if I remember correctly, I think that this is more like an online type versus this is like a local account. Go ahead and hit next, hit your password. I'm going to hit the super secret password that is definitely not 123. And it tells me this is too weak. Try more letters, numbers, punctuation, whatever else. I don't care if it's too weak. I actually want to use it. So now we start using Fedora and we are set to go. So give it just a moment here and it's going to give us now our desktop. So this is our first run screen. It tells us how to launch applications, how to switch tasks, and how to use the Windows workspaces. So basically here, this is our basic workspace, just hitting your meta keys there. You can also do just a variety of hotkeys to move things up and down on desktop spaces. It is awesome to learn. If you Gnome is a very different desktop. It is worth learning how it works. So just be aware of that. But it is a little bit different than you might be used to. So here we'll have a quick look at our settings options over here. So this is, of course, running GNOME 3.34. So if we jump on over here, Fedora 31, you can see all the processor information, 3.34.1. And this kind of gives us just some new features, new functions. I like changing backgrounds is a little bit different. It will give us a little bit faster, better responses. And if I remember correctly, I think the default of this is Wayland. So yeah, this is what it has installed out of the box. Really not a lot. Boxes, the calendars, contacts. Again, if I were to hook up my Nextcloud or Google, my contacts and my calendar would already be synced. I would not have to take any extra steps. Those are already set to go. We have a web browser, the basic LibreOffice suite, so just the basic 4 applications, the spreadsheets, presentations, writers, and the drawing utilities. We have a maps. I've never actually had the maps work well with me. Weather, and then we have our utilities section, which just has a variety of different utilities. Let's go ahead and have a quick look at our system monitor. Gnome has a reputation of running on a lot of memory, and this guy is running on 1.14 gigabytes of memory. So you will not be putting this on your little 2 gigabyte system. But it should still run pretty responsively. Installing new software, we have the Software Center. Let's go ahead and hit the Let's Go Shopping. And then it's going to first run, it's going to ask us this. Do you want to enable third-party repositories? If you want to be playing music or movies or things like this, you are going to want to enable this. This is the thing that used to take a long time to do. Now it happens very quickly. It will tell us that we have some updates available. It's checking and checking and checking and checking. While it's checking, I'm going to go ahead and have a brief look at the map utility because I've always had problems with it. I want to see if it's functioning well for us. All right. Okay. I do not like the fact that it does not have minimize and maximize buttons on default. There's ways to add those on there, so I'll show you how to do that. So here's OS updates, boxes. So it's just basic updates here. If I click on these, I should be able to see what it wants to update. We are not going to run the updates right now, just because we're looking at the system. Now, to get these the minimize and maximize buttons that you might want, and I know a lot of people do like those. What I want to do is we're going to do a search, and we're going to need to install Gnome Tweaks. So installing Gnome Tweaks into the system. I'm going to go ahead and get that installed, and then that will give us an interface to add your minimize, maximize buttons and things like that. So I'll go ahead and launch Gnome Tweaks, and over here, here's your appearance, here's your extensions, keyboard and mouse, and top bar. This is the bar up here, Windows. Okay, middle click. I gotta remember where it is. There it goes. Maximize and minimize. So now we have maximize and minimize buttons. We can put them on the left, put them on the right, whichever you'd like to do. So now we have the ability to do those. Now, of course, how do you get them? You just gotta find them over here. So that's kind of where they are. Here's our maps. Let's see if our maps works out well. Dude, it knows where I am. It's creepy. It's stalking me in State College, man. Well, Maps is working nicer now. That's good. All right. So let's say that you did not add those. Repositories. You can do those by coming into this hamburger menu over here, hitting your software repositories, and then if you want to install Google Chrome, you can do it here. RPM Fusion for NVIDIA, RPM Fusion for Steam. So these are if you want to install NVIDIA drivers or Steam, you want to click on these to enable them. So we have a variety of different things installed. So GNOME Shell Extensions is already enabled. Linux Vendor is enabled. So looks like we are pretty good from here. All right. So this is what GNOME 3.34 looks like here on Fedora. What we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and log out. Not everybody likes to use Wayland, so if you want to see how to log in without Wayland, you should have that option. So clicking on your name, and you have this little gear next to your sign up. So GNOME is Wayland. There's GNOME Classic and GNOME on Xorg. So this is using X. So if you want to log in with that, you can go ahead and do this. I have generally found, at least on a virtual machine, I get a lot faster and better response when I'm using GNOME in this in this manner. In fact, let's go ahead and have a quick look at our utilities again and see if that impacted our disk usage or our RAM usage. So that's made it run a little bit faster, but it does seem to run. I've always found, at least on a virtual machine, it does run a little bit snappier. All right, so there is Fedora. Again, nothing super special in the new Fedora. Pretty much all we are getting with this is the upgrade of several different packages. But if you have not checked out Fedora lately, go ahead and check it out. It has actually come a long way. And it is now probably something that will end up on my recommendation list in the near future, because it is just becoming so easy to install, so easy to work with, and I have had zero other issues with it. In fact, last year was the last time I ran it on production for a while. It gave me no problems at all, other than it was a little bit, I was running Plasma. I was running Fedora Plasma. It was a little goofy, and installing software, Discovery didn't like to work, but we got to run that pretty easy. So if you're using this basic Gnome one, absolutely, it works well. Again, they do have these nice tools to download if you're on Windows or on a Mac, to put it on a device to run it on your system. So definitely check out Fedora 31. It is worth it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, let's see. Comments. All right, how the Motorola Play phones for flashing ROMs. All right, so the biggest problem with Motorola is you have to register an account with Motorola to be able to unlock the bootloader. So in order to unlock the phone, you're giving data to Motorola, and they're going to email you the access code. I don't like that. Other than that, yeah, there's some versions. So like the Moto E6 looks like a good phone because, guys, it's a phone that has a headphone jack and no notch, but it doesn't have a Lineage build. And I don't know if it has other ROM builds or not. I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but I've looked at that one a couple times. It's cheap too. Oh man, that'd be a phone I'd buy. I'd be like, dude, I'll buy that if I could put a custom ROM on it. But I'm not a big fan of Motorola's unlock policy. Resurrection Remix is the KDE-like Lineage version. Fully customizable. Ooh, Resurrection Remix. All right, we'll check. Check that one out. UK PC World is terrible, understocked, and overpriced garbage. Yeah. Okay. The thing I personally want from Plasma Mobile is Kden Live on F-Droid, because there is no FOSS video editors. I'm not sure I'd try and run Kden Live like a video editor on so I don't know. KDE to make a mobile version of Kden Live, yeah. Graphene OS. I have Graphene written down already. Plasma phone, when? They already have Plasma Mobile is a thing. I'm not sure what the status is of it right now. Last time I looked into it, which was a couple years ago, it was in production though. Sign into Google. That'll really add privacy to your device. Right, yeah. Fairphone Open is a good alternative as well, yeah. Problem is they are stocking cell phones, as Steam and other online game storefronts are eating away at their core business with stock prices down the toilet. What is that in a reference to? Live Ubuntu video is finished now. Live in a few days. All right. Lineage OS for Micro G. Yeah, I saw Micro G as well. One UI for unsupported devices, just one UI for unsupported devices. The ones I found at Galaxy S6 also allows you to remove all the Samsung bloat during installation. Yeah. Resurrection Remix. I'll look in Resurrection Remix. Most game commentators feel like the end is nigh for GameStop with the recent... Yeah, oh, you're talking about GameStop, I'm guessing. Yeah, GameStop. If GameStop does survive another couple years, I will be totally shocked. Stock Android with a gradation of customizability and overall an improved experience that rivals Lineage. I'm going to look into Resurrection Remix. That does sound like it's right up my alley. Wow, we have a lot of comments. Hopefully, I can get through all these. What's up, Katie? You want to come up? Come on. Oh, come say hi to peoples. Oh, come say hi to peoples. Hello, peoples. All right. Come on, buddy. There we go. Now we got cat. Tried a VM of Copperhead. Hey, again, Shuttleworth would also be a Space Cadet distro lord if I were a billionaire. Bliss OS. OpenSUSE due to my Wi-Fi card and bleeding edge. Yep, there you go. Get to the important stuff, like where's the cat? There you go. There's the cat. There's the cat, man. The cat knew that he was being called upon. Right, kitty? Taking the hardware switch meme up a notch. If only phones had a detachable antenna, that'd be a little safer. Yeah, that'd be neat. Why is it based on older Android version given when used IRC? No offense, jarring from the factory alone. Talking Fedora, install and review a video about Fedora Silverblue. I'll look into it as soon as I can. It's on my list. Fedora has the encapsulated system, which is locked down. Wasn't Windows another system of the same? You know. I think I did say that wrong in my video, didn't I? Can install Gnome from source, or that if you can, it isn't often done. Even FreeBSD ports only has Gnome 3.2a. Yeah. Never had much luck with Fedora many years back. Yeah, I don't think anybody had much luck with Fedora many years back. Manjaro, we done with it. As I say, Manjaro stinks on trying to install certain IDE hard drives. Simply will not install. Yeah. Obviously, Fedora is meant to be a rolling release. That is not the same as Arch or Void, but I don't understand the point in Fedora server. CentOS seems far better as an alternative. Yeah, I think CentOS is definitely better, I think, but... Fedora is a fixed release with 2 releases per year. Yep. Hold option while powering the Mac. That's it. Yep. Now package Chromium since Ubuntu is Snap only now. Yeah. Secure boot. Keeping your computer secure from non-Windows operating systems. Yeah, it is. You shouldn't disable me. You should mind your own business. That's right. What do you think, kitty? Kick the virtual machine harder, Tom. You said you didn't kick it. 2019. Sometimes you have to kick it twice. There you go. There you go. Main job as CentOS and Red Hat servers, a few CentOS workstations. Always was curious about how well Fedora would work. but can't get permission from supervisors. Like, tell them, yeah, did you know, like, Fedora is basically Red Hat? It's just the bleeding edge one, you know. Ubuntu Snap only now? Yes. Ubuntu as of 1910, Chromium browser is Snap only. When you install the Chromium browser with apt, it simply runs the Snap install script. And they are going to be backporting that to the latest LTS, to my understanding. Fedora would be a good intro to the RPM ecosystem. I think so. Yeah. Folks apparently are not wanted here. That's okay. I'm not wanted anywhere. I've been using computers before they had keyboards. What do you mean, Mr. E? No idea what you're talking about. And the mistake of commenting that Linux is easy once, which triggered Surge, I think. Here you go. Try this then. Well, some Linux is easy. Some Linux isn't. Debian uses Calamaris in certain ISOs, yeah. Yeah, I think Calamaris sucks. One doesn't require a support contract, but does require Red Hat style server. Oracle Linux is the best choice. Okay, there you go. Gnome removes features as well as KDE adds. Yes, that's why I like KDE. I like options, man. What do you think, Kitty? Gnome, where strict human interface guidelines say minimize and maximize restore buttons confuse people. Yep. Oracle is more hated probably amongst the Solaris graybeards, yeah. Even Steam icon does not work out of the box on Gnome. I shave my beard, but raises my hand, yeah. Is Wayland ready for prime time? I don't know. I don't think so. Gnome uses 4 megabytes of RAM. Then it shows you almost 2. I'm telling you. Yeah. Like, you can go through and do some weird tweaking to your system and cut the RAM usage back. But when you install Gnome, by default, it's about a gig. See this, it's bloated over 1 gig of RAM. Yeah, with nothing installed. Yeah. By the way, Dolphin's behind you right here. I know. I'm telling you. Dolphin's back there, man. He's coming for me. You know why he's coming for me? He's coming for me because I did not cover the latest MX Linux release. Best Linux distro for web development. I don't think there is a best. Web development is a few simple tools, and they will completely work on any Linux distribution. So use a desktop environment that matches your workflow. That's why I use Cinnamon for that, because the workflow is exactly what I want. Greetings, Dan. How's it going there? Hello, Anna Rita. Kitty's over here looking at you, Anna Rita. He's like, where's my digital girl? I was confused between Ubuntu and Linux Mint. Which should I use for development purposes? It boils down to the way that you use your computer. So for me, I like the Windows feel. So I want to have all of my individual tasks down here. I want to be able to get to my desktop by clicking this button. I want a simple start screen, and I want launchers, not pinned stuff. So depending on how your workflow works, my workflow works amazingly good under the traditional Windows type environment. And I've tested that many different ways. So it doesn't matter which one, because web development is just going to be a few packages. You're going to install Bluefish or some other editor, maybe a few other tools. You might want a FileZilla or something like that. It doesn't matter which one you're using. It just matters what workflow you want. And so for me, I like the workflow set up like Windows, so I use Cinnamon, no matter if that's Cinnamon, Linux Mint Cinnamon, or Arch Cinnamon, or Fedora Cinnamon, whatever. I just use Cinnamon for that. Or I do a KDE because I can set up a KDE the same way, XFCE. If you like the more Mackie type feel, you probably want to go with a Gnome, where you can set it up more like that. So it's just kind of, that it doesn't matter what you're using. You just want your desktop environment to work well. GCC is installed. You can write C or C++ right now. Just choose a text editor. Yep. Phone will be a distro hopping device now. Yep. Is it a good idea to install KDE desktop on Linux Mint 19.1? I did not try 19.1. I have a video about how to do it on 19.0, and it works just fine. 19.1, I haven't tried it yet. Of course, 19.2 is out. So, make some good backups of your system and give it a try. See what happens. Linux Mint Mate, Ubuntu Mate, or Manjaro Mate. All right. Ooh. I would just go with the Linux Mint, personally. I'm not a big fan of the data collection inside of Ubuntu, which Mate, I believe, has. Manjaro is going to roll packages, and I don't necessarily like that. I'm going with Linux Mint. And hacking like a hacker on a simple bash script. Fun. Yeah. And Zuck said Facebook was redoing the privacy model. Didn't say they'd be making it more private. Did you guys see it was supposed to be for the Libra hearing, Zuckerberg in Congress? I have never rooted for Zuckerberg more in my life. Every one of those morons asking him questions, they just need to go home. Just go home. Quit. Go home. Y'all are a clueless bunch of monkeys. You have no earthly idea how to run this country. Go home. It made me want to root for Zuckerberg. How is Congress so bad? I want to root for Mark Zuckerberg. And then for the love, AOC, if you ask the guy a question, would you please let him answer it? Kitty's like, dude, he's screaming and yelling. He's turning on fire. I don't want fur to melt off. I mean, really, if you're asking a guy a question, why don't you let him answer? What is this? If you wanted to have a rhetorical thing, you could have just been rhetorically bashing him without him showing up there. Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. Linux Mint, it seems there is a bug with Pulse Audio Engine where you use HDMI on a laptop after the sound will play. Seems fixed, delete the config folder. I don't know. Buying Nexus 4 and installing UB ports. No. UB ports has never, it might be there now. I know they just released a new version, but it has never been production. It has never been a production system. It's like, ooh, look, we have 3 apps now. Can I make a phone call? No. Can I text? No. Well, what's the point of this nonsense? But, so I actually originally got the Nexus 5X should run it as well. And I originally got that because I wanted to run something like an Ubuntu Touch or a Plasma Mobile, but I started looking into them. It's like, they're not production yet. And I wanted to do something production, and Lineage is production. So, Fedora isn't really fixed. They do roll new kernels. Oh, got stuck in Grub, huh? Heard the Joe Rogan podcast with Snowden. I'm about halfway through it. I hate watching Joe Rogan, so I have to take it slowly. I can't stand that guy. So I'm going through it. I'm about halfway through, I think. So yeah, I'm progressively listening. It's really good. I've actually recommended it to people. I'm not a big Joe Rogan fan, but it's very good. I definitely check out the Snowden Joe Rogan podcast. So far, it's good. I'm about halfway through it. Get a kitty play toy for the camera. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like Slackware, current, quasi rolling. It snaps because it's now using C groups v2 in the kernel. All right. Install an update or new kernel. Oh, that's for Dan. All right. There's a lot and switched Linux 5 years. Since then, I have Linuxify more than around 30 or 40 people. Nice. Very good. Awesome. And thanks for watching, of course. So Linux on my second hard drive. I installed Grub2 on its partition on my hard drive with UEFI. Will I be able to get UEFI BSD able to see my Linux? If I'm interpreting that correctly, you installed Linux on your second hard drive. If you install Grub on that partition with UEFI, will I be able to edit my UEFI with BSD or BCD and be able to see my Linux? Yeah, I actually have a video about how to do that. How to manually add the stuff. Let's see if I can find that video. Right, video manager. All right, so I'm dropping a link in here now. So that is how to manually adjust your UEFI. Simple Wi-Fi access point made out in a Raspberry Pi. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Made of access point made out of Raspberry Pi. That's cool. Direction Gnome has gone. Why not just switch to DWM or i3 or something? Yeah, something that actually gives you your system resources back for the lack of functionality. Yes, absolutely. Telling window managers are not for everybody. Nerves are all twisted up. Uh-oh. New MX is awesome. Yours truly even contributed to it in extremely tiny way. Just saying. Very cool. Yeah. Not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Excuse me. I think I need to go eat now. Alrighty. Let's see. Tiling is great for coding. Have editors open side by side. Reference terminal of choice. Yeah. Want to become a cat now. All right. And on Mac type field, I do wish there was a single DE that's focused on cloning OS X. Elementary's DE is close, but not the same. Yeah, yeah, I think theirs is probably the closest with Pantheon. There's some pretty good options. Like Zorin has some pretty good Mac options in their Ultimate, I believe. It's Congress. Remember, with Pro is opposite of Con. What's the opposite of Progress? Yeah, Congress. Yep. UB ports is stuck on 1604. Gotta say nope to FreeBSD's OS. Yeah. Is this live stream going to scorch time? It might. It might. Have we been on for 2 hours? Nah, we've been on for an hour and a half. Almost. A special customization setting to install Linux Mint on an SSD. There is something like... I think you need to set up like auto trim or something. Look that one up. I don't remember off the top of my head. But there is something I think you should do on an SSD to make sure it doesn't kill it. Quite good, yeah. Should watch Rob Braxman channel. He has installed Ubuntu Touch on OnePlus One. Says it's functional as daily use. Oh, okay. It's Rob Braxman, huh? I'll look into it. Oh, Black White Cat wants to become a cat now. All right. Live latency is 22 seconds, probably. Whatever happened to Techlore? I don't know. I have no idea where Techlore is. I'd figure that if he was still around, he would have done a video about NordVPN, being that he is like the VPN guy. Maybe I should call him and find out. Apart from making videos from YouTube channel, your profession. I am an author and a web developer. Science book, fiction book going. It will be on audio format as well, yes. The first basic draft is done. I need to do a first pass edit to get the fill in the story holes. And then I'm going to send it out to beta testing. I'm looking at probably, my guess is it's going to be a January release. It could be as early as the December release, but I'm probably going to say January, especially if I'm going to try and release the audiobook about the same time, because it is going to take me a long time to do the audio on that. Yeah, I haven't seen Techlore in a while. Oh, is Steve going to be on in 10 minutes? Cool. If Steve's on in 10 minutes, then let's do it. Let me find a kitty. Hey, kitty, where you go? Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Let's see if the kitty comes. Oh, is he back now? Yeah, he, based on that last video he did, on the Tesla, I was thinking that he was probably in the trunk of another car heading for Mars. But I'm not completely sure. Hey, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Oh, there you are. I thought you were gone. You were not responding. You want to come up for some kitty treats? You want some kitty treats, huh? Oh, come on. Come get some kitty treats. Come on, buddy. You need to burn a couple calories though to come up. Come on. Whoa. Come on. Come on. Come on. He's being stubborn today. Come on. Here you go. Good kitty. All right. Let's go ahead and feed the beast, and then we'll wrap this guy up so I can actually go and get me some Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something. Actually, I really don't eat cereal, so I really would not eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, although it does sound good. Maybe I should buy some. Go on, give us some paw action, kitty. Give us some paw action. Give us some paw. Come on, give me some paw. Yeah, we got some paw. A little bit more paw. A little bit more paw, buddy. A little bit more paw. Oh, yeah, look at that paw. Uh-oh. There you go. We need one for this camera here. And how about one for... Oh, I gotta find a big one though. This camera right here. Oh, are they finger licking good? They are. They're finger licking good. Yes, they are, buddy. They're finger licking good, huh? All right. We have fed a kitty. So life is good, right? Oh, kitty, don't moon everybody. I mean, kitty's like, dude. So rude, cat. So rude. January's good. Cannot wait to read it. All right. Think Life Media is Tom's website. Yeah, I have. That's the one. Which we need to. I need to redesign something on there because I hate the system we're using. It keeps on the... If you're a Think Life Media supporter, just let me know if the system is not reactivating your account after a payment, because it has been doing that on just a few people for some reason. Technology to use. I use primarily WordPress, but I'm also moving into more Joomla building right now just because WordPress has lost its ever-loving mind. Okay. Techlore, hello, you have been summoned. Techlore, we were so concerned that after that last Tesla video, you were in the back of the next trunk heading to Mars. So glad to see you're around. And I'm looking forward to your video on Nord. I know you got one working, man. But yeah, let me know when you're around to do another one. We'll get together and do another video soon. How many bags of treats does CJ go through in a month? It's usually about one every about 3 months, I think. It goes through 3 months. Like that one's almost empty, and I did buy a replacement bag. I got Tempting Tunas next. He's got Tempting Tuna next. So he's got some stuff. But about one every 3 months about. Do not get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It contains trisodium phosphate. So trisodium phosphate's not going to hurt you. All right. So Steve's on in a few minutes. Let me let's find a link for Steve. Does anybody have a link for Steve? There's Steve. Oh yeah, Steve's on in a few minutes. I got the link for Steve. All right, there is Steve's link. So he should be starting himself up here in about 1-ish minute. So there's your link, and we're going to jump on over to Steve's channel and do ourselves an STL raid. So that's what we're going to do on Steve's channel, STL raid, everybody. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll get one of these two videos up. Maybe I'll do the Fedora first. I'll do the cell phone video later, and then we'll start doing some other stuff soon. So with that being said, tomorrow's supporter stream, we are going to look at scam emails. Yes. I've been given this barrage of scam emails lately. We're going to have a look at the best of them. And so who knows, maybe we might even open some things up in virtual machines. That would be fun, right? Hey, here's an attachment. Let's see what's in here. That'd be fun. You're not going to hurt my tails. But anyway, yeah, so we will be doing a supporters stream tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, looking at scam email addresses and things like that. And we will go ahead and jump off here and join us over on Steve's channel there and tell him STL Raid. Let him know who sent you. So we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and see you tomorrow.